Burkina Faso, what a hot place, what a hot place. I could easily describe Burkina Faso, and I say this, I don't mean this badly, but it's as hot as hell. It is extremely hot, 50 degrees in the shade. And whenever I got out of an air conditioning building or got out of an aeroplane that was air conditioned, and just, got the sun on my skin, it literally felt like somebody was holding a hot iron right above my forehead. And I'm not exaggerating. That's the heat in Burkina Faso. So, the heat is so extreme that workers on the mine actually get driven, they get taken off the mine at about 11 or 12, I forget the time, but when the sun is at its highest. They remove the workers, take them back to the camp. They have a lunch, have a siesta, and then when the sun starts to go down a little bit and it's not so hot, they take them back to camp, and they work into the evening, and then come back in the evening to have their dinner. So, the heat is respected there, and if they don't do this, you will find that they will have employees that will have heat stroke. So you constantly had to rehydrate or hydrate yourself with water. And I'll tell you what, it was just, I'm looking for sort of a pleasant memory, but all I can think of is that desert just spotted with a couple of trees, there's a few blades of grass. It's just, and when the wind picks up, all of the very, very fine dust just swirls up and gets your sinuses going, gets you crying. This is my experience of Burkina Faso, as a metallurgist walking around the plant. And then the other thing was the accommodation that was so very interesting for me, or just traveling, being picked up at the airport and then going to our first accommodation, which was in the capital and of Ouagadougou. And just that building, it looked like a fortress. It was a compound, thick walls, huge high metal gates. It took a couple of people to actually slide that gate open and closed. And I was almost too scared to ask why the need for such security. But later on, I discovered that it was becoming quite the fashion for expats to be kidnapped. And kidnappers to ask the governments wherever they come from for ransom money. So that was, it definitely put me on edge, made me feel very, very alive all the time while I was in Ouagadougou. And then when we reached the campsite, it was much more relaxed, of course, because you're on the mine. But then everywhere you went, they had these TV screens up with videos explaining to you what you should do should the mine come under attack. And so depending on whether you were in the offices or whether you were on the mine or whether you were in your bungalow, there were different things. And in the bungalow itself, there was this procedure. And I remember the first thing you needed to do was hide under the bed. So I thought, well, if the siren goes off, I'm rolling off this bed and rolling under it, and that's it. And you switch all your lights off, etc. And look, it was sort of way of life for them. It's something natural, I suppose, for that area, but for me, what a culture shock. I will never forget. It was a whole different reality for me, and it was amazing for me to think that people could live that way, and that expats could actually work under those conditions. And actually, to this day, I pray for the safety of all the people that are living in Burkina Faso and working there, because it is really a challenging place to go to make a living. If you would like us to do more posts on something specific you would like to know about, please comment your suggestions below.